What's up everyone? Brandon Stevens here with Q Science. I want to personally welcome you to the Q family. You made that big decision, that leap of faith to lock arms with us. Now it's our turn to make sure that you're launched properly because we want to make sure you're set up for success, not failure. So hopefully you got your launch document in front of you, and I'm going to take you through the 1 through 5 process to get started with us to make sure you have success. So if you got your launch document, say you're ready, and let's jump into the information. So launching your Q business, the most important things that you can bring to your Q business are work ethic, desire, commitment, and the ability to be coachable. Now let's dive into the back office tools. Your personal website. This is a very important web domain. And the reason why is because this is how you're going to generate sales with Q Science. From anywhere from the ambassadors to preferred customers to retail customers. You want to make sure you write this down so you can share it with other individuals. The next step is your ambassador ID number. This is like your social security number. You want to memorize it. You write it down, don't forget it. And then you want to know exactly who your upline silver is. So if you have any questions or you need support or three-way calls or any presentation is done, you can reach out to your upline silver to help guide you in the process of being successful here with Q Science. They can help you plug into the system. And make sure that you reach out to your upline silver to see what their meet me calendar is so you can get on their schedule anytime you want to do a connect call with any of your upline leaders. After you get their meet me calendar, you want to make sure you write down your start date because this is a memorable moment. The journey through Q Science starts today. Step 1, what is your why? I truly believe if your why ain't big enough to make you cry, it's not big enough. I really don't believe it should be all about materialistic things. What I love about this business is, what if I gave you a scenario and there was a plank that was 100 feet in length and 6 inches in width, and I asked you to walk that plank for $20. I'll give you $20 if you walk that plank for me. You're like, I'll moonwalk on that plank. But what if I told you that plank is in the highest high rise in Dallas, Texas, 100 floors up in the air, and I asked you to walk that plank down for $20? You'd probably think I was crazy. But what if I told you for $5,000, $10,000, $50,000, $100,000, $500,000? You're probably thinking now, man, that's a lot of money. I might just do that. You're thinking though. But what if I told you the person that you love the most, that's dear to your heart, is on the other side of that plank, and you have 30 seconds to make a decision because that building's on fire and it's about to collapse, and you'll never see that person again? You won't think twice. You won't blink. You won't take another breath. You will sprint across that plank, guide them back or carry them back. True or not true? The moral of the story is money will only motivate you so long, but the reason why you do this business will motivate you for a lifetime. Because when I said there was a $500,000, you said, wow, that's a lot of money. But then you start thinking, what if I fall? What if I lose my life? What if the wind pushes me over? There's a lot of common factors, but when a loved one is on the side of that plank, you're not thinking twice about the scenarios. You're going full-fledged in to make it happen. So, more of the story is, money will only motivate you so long, but the reason why you're doing this business will motivate you for a lifetime. So think about what your why is and write that down. Step 2 is just goal setting. It's setting up a 24 to 48 hour game plan for you to make sure you're set up for success, not failure. So we literally have a system that was already implemented for success. I'm not trying to recreate the wheel when the wheel's already been created here with Q Science. I'm just plugging people away into the system and we're getting results. So our system involves the launch process, what we're currently doing right now. The next step is actually peaking individuals by sharing the opportunity, by giving them a small trailer about what we're doing to get them excited. Then we actually share the webinar information with them to cover the products, the opportunity that comes here along with Q Science. Then we connect them with a three-way call with your upline. After the three-way call, if there's additional exposure needed, then you get your upline silver or higher on a connect call to be able to give that information towards that Q ambassador prospect. Now, the next step is actually a launch call. We plug them into the launch calls and then we repeat them steps over and over and over again. We call it the wash, dry, repeat method. You do that method, I promise you, you will have success in your business. The next step of our launch document is our 3 for 3. And what the 3 for 3 does for you is get your 3 first ambassadors and your first 3 customers. And the reason why we focus on this is because, the matter of fact, if you go out and get 3 ambassadors in your first 30 days, you're not only going to qualify for the quick start bonus of $100, but also a $50 residual check. So you're gonna qualify for your ROI, your return on investment back, pretty much your first month of being part of the business. But what's even more exciting, if you go out and acquire 3 customers, your product is free. I love that. So the Care and Share program is the best thing I've ever seen, where you actually get incentives by going and getting customers, getting paid off them, and also getting free product. It's really neat. Now, after going for the 3 for 3, I want you to write down the 3 ambassadors that came to your mind when you first thought about it. And who was the first 3 people you thought about when you were thinking about getting them as a customer? I want you to write down them names. And as we're going through that process, I want you to think about a 30-day goal, a 60-day goal, a 90-day goal. Because I truly believe a goal without a set goal date is just a dream. So let's turn them goals into a reality. I'd rather you set the bar high and miss than set the bar low and hit. So let's write down them goals and let's keep ourselves accountable. As you look below, you see elite, bronze, silver, and gold, and platinum. You see the monthly revenue and the rank bonuses that come along with these ranks. Let's make sure that we add one of these ambassador ranks inside them 30-day, 60-day, and 90-day goals. Now that we covered step 1 and 2 of the launch document, I want to pass it over to Mr. Jordan to cover steps 3, 4, and 5 of the Q Science launch document.
What's going on, guys? As you can see, my best friend and business partner, Mr. Brandon Stevens, has just gone over the first 2 key parts of the launch. Step 1, obviously knowing what's your reason why. If your why is not big enough, then it won't make the how a lot easier. So you got to make your why as big as possible. And if your why doesn't make you cry, doesn't mean that your why is strong. So let's make sure that we focus on that. Like he said in step 2, you got to build a goal and you got to build a plan. And what you do in your first 24 to 48 hours is very, very, very important. So let's make sure that we master that. Thanks so much, Mr. Stevens. Now, as we move forward, step 3, one of the most critical points of building our business. It's not just about launching a business, but you always want to feel confident about who you're starting your business with. So step 3, we need to work on, obviously, not just the scripts of building a business, but our Fab 5. Who would you and I want to go into business with, not later, but right now, this very second? Who do you know that's in real estate? Who do you know that's your best friend, your sister, your brother, your mother, your aunt? Whoever it is that's very motivated, that's in your close circle, these are the people that you definitely want to put in your Fab 5. These are going to be your CEOs, your CFOs, your COOs, and your CVOs. So make sure you put those people on this list right now more than ever for your Fab 5, because you call on them first. Perfect. And now that you and I have completed our Fab 5, which is the most important people in our circle, our VIPs to starting and launching our Q Ambassador business, now it's time for us to learn the system, the proven method that helps us contact these individuals on our list so we're guaranteed to have success. Are you fired up? Because I know that I am. Let's dive right in right now to this information. Let's go over these business partner and customer scripts. Okay, now that we're here, this is very, very simple. All we're gonna do is copy, paste, and send this in a text message, or we can actually say this directly to our friends and directly to our family. So let's go over it really quick. Here's the business partner script. Hey, I'm working on this big project and I wanted to call or text you first because I know you like to make money, or I know that you love to add value in business. Do you have a minute? It's so important for each and every one of us to make sure that we send this out in a text message or on a phone call. But the most important thing right now is for us to wait for a response. Neither one of us needs to go on a rant, sending out a long message as to why we need them to be a part of our business, because we're not building this business off of desperation. We're inspired and we're ready to take action and get results. But the results come from the script. So let's get right back into it right now. We're waiting for a response. Perfect. Now that we've waited for a response, if they say yes, the only thing we need to do now is answer with this. Awesome. When do you have 10 to 12 minutes of uninterrupted time to take a look at a video that explains everything? Do not send them the video unless they're ready and uninterrupted. It's so important that we don't send out this information until they're in a space. We want them away from their kids, away from their dog, away from practices, because we have found out in the science of giving out an invite, in the science of having somebody take a look at the webinar, it's so important for them to be uninterrupted, so therefore they have 100% attention. Because guess what? A bird could fly by, a car could drive by, or even a dog could start barking, and it will totally break their conversation or their concentration. Now that was for a yes. Now if they say no, the only thing we need to do is say, okay, perfect. We don't worry about it. We don't stress about it. We put them on what we call a follow-up list. Now the follow-up list is simple. 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months. That's when we follow up with the people that say no. We do not worry if they say no, and we don't get emotional about it. We have to make sure that we keep our emotions down. Everything's gonna be okay. This is a process, not an event. Remember that. Now we can talk about customers. Now when we're building customers, it's all about the language. We don't want to beg people to do this business. We don't want to beg people to acquire customers. All we need to do is use proven methods and a proven system. Here it is right here. If you're ready, I am. Let's dive into it. Okay, perfect. Now that we have our customer script up, here it is again. Hey, do you have a minute? Make sure you wait for a response. We gotta wait. Now, can you do me a huge favor? Make sure you put the emphasis on huge. Wait for a response. I'm so excited. I just started a new side gig and I'm looking forward to being able to make sure you tell whatever your reason why is, and your why, you went over it with Mr. Stevens at the very, very beginning of this video. I'm a few customers away from my first promotion. I have a health and wellness product and I fall in love with it. You got to insert your testimony. When you insert your testimony, here's the most important thing. They have to know what it's done for you. Now you got to be careful of any type of claims because we don't want to get Q Sciences in trouble, nor yourself, nor your ambassador business. Let's dive back into it. Will you do me a huge favor and try it for 30 days? I've never had anyone not love it, but if you don't, there's a 30-day money back guarantee. Okay, perfect. Now that we've gone over this, make sure we put the emphasis on the relationship and on how huge it is and how close you are to your first promotion. This is very important because here's the thing. When people see that they're going to be helping you out to your next promotion, they're going to be tied to your success and they're going to want to help you out. But if you try to sell them on the product, then chances are they're not going to want to be sold anything. So focus on the customer scripts and make sure that you wait for responses and don't be too eager to get somebody to try any of our Q Sciences products. Because guess what? It's going to happen no matter what. You and I, we've got this. Now let's go ahead to step number 4. Okay, perfect. Now that we're on step number 4, in my personal opinion, this is one of the most important things about why people get involved in network marketing or in businesses. And guess what? You and I, we're in Q Sciences. So let's talk about this for a second. People, they don't just get started in businesses, they get started with movements. So people that are started in movements, it's a community that they're involved with. So step 4, we're gonna teach you guys, we're gonna share with you guys what's the most important methods of staying in position and staying in contact and in the community. Let's talk about that right now. Let's dive into it. Here it is. To stay plugged into the Q Lyfe movement, all we have to do is first download our Q Connect Pro app. That is very, very simple. It's on the Android market and it's also with an iPhone. Remember, our phones are always the tool that helps us run our business. So that's the most important thing that we need in order for us to start our business and get it off to the right track. Part 2, to Q It Up. That's a Facebook group that's simply for ambassadors, and it's a building tool. Has building tools, trainings, has all great information that you're gonna love. Okay, for Q and U, this is a great Facebook group where you're able to see all the product testimonials and all the great promotions that Q Sciences has. So make sure that you stay connected and you're in there because this is how you can acquire some really solid customers that are lifelong and lasting. Now, for the Q Lyfe movement, this is a Telegram group. This is where you're gonna receive all of your updates, conference calls, team trainings, live webinars. This is how you can stay plugged in to take your business to the next level. The people that are always plugged into events, guess what? Those are the ones that will always have the highest ratings to making sure that they have the massive success that they're looking for in this business. Remember this one thing, if you're taking an excellent note, listen and listen closely. I promise you, you can never miss an event that you're qualified to attend. That's how you become successful in this industry. Never miss events. Now that you and I have talked about events and we know how important events are, they're the heartbeat of our business to last long and they give us a time extension. Here's what I believe is the most important thing, is knowing the schedule of events. So let's dive into it right here. Okay, perfect. Now that we have events in place, here's what we need to know. The types of events that we have here within Q Sciences. Number one, we have leadership summits. What are these? This is when Mr. Mark Wilson, our CEO and our president of the company, and Mr. Jake Spencer, our senior vice president of global sales, they come out to the markets and they do what we call leadership boot camps in your market. It could be anywhere in the United States or even anywhere in the world. Talk about the great support and the leadership here within Q Sciences. Next, we have our corporate conventions. The next corporate convention, it's going to be huge. It's in September 2018. You definitely can't miss that. When I went to my first corporate event, I didn't know how to act. I didn't know how to explain it, but all I knew is I wanted to be a part of this industry forevermore. The next thing that we have is our Super Saturday training. These go on monthly. In certain markets, there's a Super Saturday training that can be in remote areas where everybody gets together from a market, and guess what happens? You have promotions, you have great testimonials, and you have a good time learning the value of Q Sciences. And last but not least, my next launch, as you just saw. It's very important for each and every one of us to understand when a new person gets started and they get involved in Q Sciences, it's an emergency. Sirens should be going off like you hear right now. It's an emergency. Everyone must be launched within their first 24 to 48 hours of time. Here's a very, very interesting quote that I once heard from my mentor many, many years ago in this industry, and I've been in this industry for over 12 plus years. My mentor told me this. He said, without a sense of urgency, excitement loses its value, and you're not going to make massive production if you don't take action when? Now. If you don't take action when, say it with me, right now. So it's important. Get on your next launch call. Get your ambassadors on their first launch call and make sure that everyone's launched properly so that you can ensure that they have success in Q Sciences. Now we're going to go on to step 5, and we always have fun with step 5. Now I'm going to put a timer to this one. Now you make sure you stay here and you make sure you make your list, because this is the most important thing. As you can see, the bigger the list, the more ammunition you have to go and conquer your dreams and your goals. So make sure that you see right here at the bottom, you're going to go out there, you're going to make your list of 100 names and numbers. Yes, I said it, 100 names and numbers. Make sure you do whatever it takes to make this list, not later, but right now. We want your excitement to be high, your action to be high, your results to be high. How can we build a list of 100, AJ? I'm going to give you the answers right now. Your cell phone book, your yearbook, your Facebook. Wow, all these books, your church book, whatever it is. Do whatever it takes to make this list from 1 to 100. I'm going to give you right now, I'm going to give you a solid 2 minutes right now more than ever to finish this list from 1 to 100. Don't quit on me. All right, you've got it. You can do it. Keep going. Push yourself. All right, keep going. You got this. Five more. I know you're getting ready to quit. Don't you quit on me. You continue to make that list. Stop laughing, this is serious. Our dreams and goals are attached to this list. You're almost there. Keep going. Keep going. Push yourself. 5 more. Don't quit. Okay, now we're done. We completely launched our business. Now it's time to get out there and do whatever it takes. And remember, success is a process, not an event. This will not be easy, but it will definitely be worth it. Trust me. Get out there and let's make it happen. I'll see you at Crown Diamond.